us and help improve it. So I know you have a show on entrepreneurship. We do what we call intrapreneurship.
Yep.
It's when you're an entrepreneur in a larger company. And that sometimes can be difficult when you look at how are you going to change the culture, or how are you going to do something new within boundaries that are set from like such a large organization. Well, TELUS has been making headway in the last few years because we realize that diversity of thought is going to fuel innovation, and that is going to give us the competitive edge in the market. That is what's going to lead us to success. So I'm actually the IT Solutions Manager for North America. So it's I went ahead and I put us up for the nomination because of the changes that I saw as an employee at TELUS. The opportunities that I saw were given to everyone to be able to do their own thing, to make a difference, to come up with something new, to be an entrepreneur inside of TELUS.
Wow, that's I love that answer. You answered some of my own questions I was asking. I'm curious. So before I did this segment, I talked for the beginning part of the show about, you know, companies having unique traits that's very specific to them or even to their industry. You know, I gave out Tuesday evening happy hour outings, or Friday going out, or weekend hike, or mentor-mentee programs. I'm curious, what are some things that you have seen at your company that provides a good workplace culture?
I've seen that the breaking of silos is a huge thing that we've been doing. The diversity initiatives are huge, and they're everywhere, where it's you know, we try to get people of different departments talking to each other. Like if you have a hackathon, you're not going to have just engineers doing it or just developers. You will have people from finance or HR coming in, because that diversity of thought is what's going to fuel something more innovative. We have women in leadership program. We have early careers programs. We've got a ton of STEM outreach, where we know that the STEM careers, which is what our company is based on.
Right.
It starts from a very early age, and so we have you know, we've had contests and programs where you reach out to girls in schools, like they're still in elementary school, and they'll come in and they'll learn. And you know, we've got programs at UCI. Actually, UCI is one of our biggest partners. We have a great internship program and a very high rate of interns who are converted into full-time, and that just continues to grow. So those kinds of programs, they enrich our culture, they enrich our community for our users and for our employees. Right now we have something called Entrepreneurship Week, which is a week-long hackathon basically, and it's amazing. It's going on right now in our Irvine campus, and you see just a lot of different things coming together. You've got people from different departments playing Legos together, you know. So just that chatting back and forth has really made a very open and inclusive culture where people are not afraid to put up their ideas. There is a lot of, I mean, because TELUS is so multinational, you have an option of mobility, which is, hey, I want to do 2 years in Europe. Can I find a position over there that will allow me to live in Europe for 2 years?
Wow, sign me
learn
up.
Some, yeah, right? In Paris, of all places. And then, you know, come back with my experiences and add to whatever my career path should be. So it's very open like that. We have a lot of options is what there are. I mean, you've got the option. You're not stuck at any time within your career or within whatever your interests are.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's very good to know. And obviously, you're doing things well. I mean, you won this award. Your company as a bigger picture has been doing that. I loved how you brought up entrepreneurship. We've actually talked about that a lot in our show. We actually feel that the idea of being an entrepreneur isn't just a man or woman building a company and trying to start from scratch up or doing something like of that sort. It's also within a company you can be entrepreneur. And I guess, you know, thinking out loud, what advice would you give to someone who wants to create more of that entrepreneur feel in their own company, based on what you have seen or you have learned from, or from colleagues or books you've read or your own mentors? I'm just curious. I love that having the different stakeholders involved in a hackathon. I think that's a great example of it. In fact, if you ever watch some of the older interviews with like Steve Jobs, he always said that Apple's a big startup. Like, he always says that because he gets all the different parts working on all the products from start to finish, like design, QA, tech, all these things together, and that's an example of having an entrepreneur spirit. So I'm just curious, what are some things you could share for others?
Well, I think it all starts with culture.
Okay.
And I think TELUS does a very good job with culture, whether it starts from, resourcing, and a couple of like the partners that I have with, who help, with the nomination, Vicky Emerson and James Kirk, they have a huge focus on diversity and inclusion. They have a huge focus on showing TELUS to be a safe place for innovation, a safe place to bring your ideas and to be able to be who you are. So it starts from like the moment that you get hired, or the moment that you get interviewed, actually, and it just grows. Like you have to feel comfortable enough to bring your idea, to bring yourself into the work that you do, because that makes you passionate about what you're doing, and that's what makes you successful. So that's what I see every day is people, they find their own path.
Yeah.
And TELUS really encourages that. I mean, and I've seen it firsthand where it's like, well, if you're good at, communication,
yeah,
even if you're an engineer who's like, behind screens all day, well, go for it. Do it. Try it. Try it. If you fail, that's fine. We'll figure something else out, but it's that culture of not being afraid to try the thing that, the thing that you love to do.
Okay. That's great. I love that. I like that. That's a good takeaway. What's your guys' tagline? I'm curious. Your mission statement.
Better, safer, everywhere. We've got a few. I mean, I could share some
good.
videos with you, but yeah, they're because TELUS is such a big company and we serve so many different products and markets. We pretty much are. What is it? I can actually look one up for you right now, but I know that better, safer, everywhere was one, and it was the people who support. This is that's a hard question.
No worries. I was just curious. Well, thank you for that introduction of your company and the things that you do. Thank you both for what you're both doing, because it always starts from workplace culture isn't just from within, but it's also about sharing inspiring stories, whether it's someone who is in that stage where you're taking your professional passion into a business, or someone who is with a business that's leading the way at the moment. I mean, we all learn from your conversations and from you all who put on these events. So thank you so much, all of you, for sharing this much needed topic. Well, everyone, we are nearing the end of our show, but before I go, I want to give out a few giveaways, actually. So I am fortunate to be involved with an organization called SOGAL, which is a very large mentorship-driven organization all across the world. They have tens of thousands of members, both online and offline, through their different programs. They also have a venture capital fund. In fact, one of the founders of this organization was an undergraduate at USC, and she saw a need for more diversity and impact investing. So she and some others created this company, and they do events all around the world. And they actually have a influencer summit on Saturday of this week in LA, and I have a few tickets. So if anyone is interested in going, send me an email, eshkumra@kuci.org. So check this out. This is going to be a win-win for you. So if you are one of the first people, you're in for free. If you aren't one of the first people, but you still send me a note, you're going to get a heavy discount. So you're going to win either way if you really look at it, So send me a note on that, and if you're more interested in the